Good evening, everybody. Welcome to GeekyKOOL presents Geeky Cinephiles. I'm Larry the Professor, and here we've got our good buddy Joe with us. We're going to talk. We always talk a little bit about movies because, henceforth, the name Cinephiles, which means movie lovers. We love movies, and we always like to talk about them. So this is our last broadcast of 2025. Kind of scary. It seems like maybe it should be March or April in 2025. Instead, we're here almost hitting January 2026, Joe. So, yeah, it's kind of wild. But because of that, we want to give you guys our list of our favorite movies we watched in the year 2025. Some of them are from 2025, maybe 2024, and some of them maybe older ones that were discovered or just rewatched. So we're going to talk about that with our list, and so I hope you enjoy. Let us know what you think. What should be on the list, and see if there's anything that we haven't seen that we need to be watching. When I was looking through some stuff on the list, I did see some stuff on streaming. I'm like, I meant to watch that, and I just haven't got it done yet. So
I've got a list of things I should have meant to
yeah,
watch.
yeah. Hopefully, we'll get those done, and we'll get uh, on with our show, and then next year we'll be right back at it talking about movies. So. Well, Joe, what's your first one on your list that you watched in 2025 that you loved?
Yeah, so I mentioned this earlier. I was not a good movie connoisseur this year. I'd either watch older movies or I think I went to the theaters twice.
Right.
I either watch older movies or chose not to rent any of the newer ones on streaming. But I do have a list of a lot once I started going through that I'd like to see. So a lot of my top five are not necessarily new movies, but I saw them this year, and some of them were new to me. So Alien
Yep.
is my first one.
Ah, yes. We talked about this one, reviewed it on the site. A little where it all began with Ripley right there in the
I'd
first
never
Alien movie.
I'd never seen it. Everyone told me to see it. As far as I knew, it was just kind of a horror movie, but it turned out to be real, true sci-fi and
Yeah.
thriller. And then the number of high name profiles that have done the Alien movies is just it's hard to resist. So you got James Cameron, you got David Fincher, you got Ridley Scott. Um,
Yep. Yep.
I enjoyed pretty much all of them, but that one was the cherry on
Yeah.
top.
Yeah, that first one really gets you introduced into the world. I love when you don't really know what's going on. And the other ones, I love the other movies, especially the second one. But this first one really keeps you on edge because it was very much the feel of old time horror movies, Hitchcock kind of movies, where you don't even see the alien until almost the very end. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's great that way. Yeah, that's a great pick. That's one of my favorite movies. I remember watching it as a kid and going, "Oh my gosh, this is scary and creepy." And I thought I was, I don't know, 11, 12, and I thought I could handle just about anything. And that movie creeped me out, but I loved it. I just loved it. So yeah, that's a great pick for us there. Well, I'm
Thank
going
you.
to go with one that was on streaming, and it was never in theaters, but it was on streaming. And I almost forgot about it until I was going back through, just kind of looking to see what was out there. And it was called The Electric State. I don't know if you saw this one or not, Joe.
Oh, I
Earlier in the year, I believe it was Netflix exclusive. Um, a weird, funky movie. Basically, a girl goes on a search in a post-apocalyptic kind of world where, basically we evolved to where we have robots running all this stuff, and then they rebel against us, and there's a civil war between the humans and the robots. Um, and some of the robots are kind of silly looking, like this guy, right? The little clown guy right there. And this girl goes looking for her brother who died during this and trying to figure out what actually happened. and goes, and it was done by the Russo brothers. So I love the Russo brothers, Avengers and all of the movies that they've done together. But
Yeah.
it's a cool, fun movie. It's very quirky and it's a little silly at points, but I suggest checking it out because I just loved it. I just thought it was so much of a fun movie. Stars Millie Bobby Brown, and
Oh,
from Stranger Things fame, um, Christopher Marcus, Stephen McFearley, um, Chris Pratt, of course, is the guy here who plays almost a Han Solo kind of like guy. And you can see it just from his outfit; almost looks Han Solo esque like there. So it's a fun
yeah.
movie. Definitely worth checking out on Netflix. It would be my opinion. I just had fun with it. So it wasn't deep or anything else. It was just fun and quirky. So
Good. I need some new recommendations.
yeah, yeah. Well, what's next on your list for us, Joe?
I went with a movie that we reviewed on your recommendation. It was from this year.
Mhm.
Um, it, it confused me a little bit at first, and it made me think quite a bit about it. But eventually, you start looking at all the awards movies, all the awards for this year's movies, and this movie is nominated for a ton of stuff.
Yep.
And that is Sinners, the
Yeah.
vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Great movie. I love this movie also. It probably would have been on my list if it wasn't on yours.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a great one here. The more I think about this movie, the more I like it. And I love period pieces, and that's part of the appeal for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sinners, such a different take on a vampire movie.
Yeah. And now that I know what's going on, I'm not going to figure it out. But
Right.
yeah, I'll watch it again, I think.
Most definitely. I agree with you. That's a great pick. And check out our review on Sinners. I forget which episode that was, but you can check out our backlog and check out Sinners if you have not seen that information. But it's a great movie, and Joe and I both really enjoyed that movie. So yeah, another great pick there, Joe. Well,
Good recommendation.
I'm gonna go a little horror movie here also. One set also I think a Netflix movie, but a great movie called and we reviewed this one, Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, that's on my list of things I
Yeah.
want to see.
I suggested we should review it once you see it because it's a really good it's a good adaptation of the book. It's not perfect from the book. There
Yeah.
were things I was like, why did they change that from the book? They didn't need to change that. So, and some of it almost felt like they were doing it to appeal to because the classic Frankenstein horror movie is completely different than the book. I mean, it's night and day difference. And so there's some aspects of it to play to the old classic movies. It's a great adaptation. I really enjoyed it. I suggest checking that out. If you enjoy a good Frankenstein movie, this is going to hit you differently, just because it's not the traditional Frankenstein movie that we all know.
Awesome. Yeah, that's okay. So Shannon's told me that she wrote that when she was 18 years old, Mary
She
Shelley.
did. Yeah, she did. She was at a party, and they had a contest to see who could write the best kind of story with that, and she won at 18. Yeah, yeah, she was at a big party. I think in kind of a dark. I think it was wintertime, and I think it was a dark area. So yeah, and of course at that point, that kind of gothic horror was pretty common. In fact, a lot of your Christmas movies or Christmas stories from that time period were horror stuff. So scary
How does it
ghost stuff. You know.
Yeah. How does it go along with the older Frankenstein movies? Like how does it compare? You said.
It There is a lot of major differences with it. The monster is very different. Very much has intelligence to it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I would just suggest seeing it. It again, it goes off a lot of what the book had. which again was completely different than how they played the monster and Dr. Frankenstein. And all. The motivations are different. Everything's just way different as far as characters. Now, they had some aspects of it, and you can see some stuff that where when you watch the classic movies, you're like, oh, okay, they used that and kind of changed it for this kind of monster setting. But yeah, check it out because I think you'll be surprised how different it is.
Yeah, and that director is obviously very acclaimed, but he also does some very strange movies too. So
Very strange movies. This is one of them, but it's a really good one. I do suggest checking it out. I had a good time watching it. And again, I was debating in my head when I was watching it because I'm like, well, why did they change that? But then I'm like, you know what? It's a movie. Stop and enjoy.
yeah.
You know, it's a lot closer than the classic monster one movies. So,
Okay.
all right, what do you got next for us?
Next, I have another. Look at my top three. They're very dark, scary movies. One recommended by you that we did a podcast on.
Yep.
It was dark. It scared me. It made me think about probably more than any other movie I've thought about this year, and that was Nosferatu.
Yeah, another great movie right there. Yeah, Nosferatu. Such an interesting taste on it. Oh, all right. Sorry, I clicked. I hit my mic and knocked it. Turned it off there for a second. Yeah, Nosferatu, great vampire movie, of course, based on the classic from 1925 Nosferatu, and adapted and used some stuff pulling from Dracula. Of course, the Nosferatu movie from the 1920s was actually loosely based on Dracula because they didn't have the rights to do Dracula, so they were kind of stealing and borrowing. But I like this adaptation a lot, and this one is a thinking vampire movie for sure, and very much. You know, we're kind of going on the monster thing there, but that's all right. You know, I think that's a cool thing. We had some really good kind of monster dark movies this year.
Yeah, we did.
This was from the end of the year last year, but you know, most of us saw it in the new year. I know I saw it in the new year and really loved it. So
yeah, it was crazy.
yeah, that is true. I agree
Well,
with that sentiment. Well, I'm going to go from one type of a monster to another for us, but mine has been one that we have had movie after movie after movie and sequel after sequel after sequel, but I still love them anyway. And that's we're going to go a little Jurassic World here.
oh
So
yeah,
so Jurassic World. I forget what the full name of it was. Oh, Rebirth. Jurassic World Rebirth. I really enjoyed it. Had a good time with this. But as I tell people, for me, there are if you put dinosaurs in something, I'm in. I just have been that way since Land of the Lost. When I was 4 years old, when I started watching Land of the Lost, put dinosaurs in, I'm in. And then you have Scarlett Johansson. Oh my
She's been
gosh, she can knit.
on this show frequently.
Yeah. If you let her knit for an hour, I'll pay money to watch it. I don't care. I just ScarJo is, especially as a redhead. Now I like her as a blonde, but as a redhead, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it's a fun, cool premise. Have you seen this one, Joe?
No, I haven't. Is this
Okay.
5 or 6 in the series?
This is number 7 because this one you had the 3 Jurassic Park movies, you had the 3 Jurassic World movies where the dinosaurs ended up in the United States with the one before. This one is kind of the um, rebooting it, not rebooting, but basically this is long after they've died out in the United States. All the dinosaurs around are dying. They're on this one little island. Of course, it's one of those secret islands where they create a lot of the monsters and they just left some of them there, and they were going to go
Yeah.
back. But they're going to get some DNA from some of these creatures because they found that will help cure cancer if you have this type of DNA to be able to do some DNA work. But they need it coming from the young, including from eggs. So you're going to go into places and try to get dinosaur DNA from eggs of angry mothers who want to eat you. Yeah. That's pretty fun. And
Yeah.
it also involves another family that ends up on the ship of when they're going to do this. There's a whole thing to it. The story's okay. I think the story's okay. I don't think it's a bad story. I had fun with it completely all around. A new way to get people that aren't prepared for dinosaurs in with the people that think that they're ready, and of course, they're never ready for dinosaurs. They think they are. They never are. But yeah. So you have that. You have a lot of cool dinosaurs, including a T Rex as usual. But you also have a really cool pterodactyl thing and just all sorts of stuff that's pretty cool. So I do suggest it if you like dinosaurs. It's definitely a good fun. And if you like the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies, it goes right in line. Just go watch it. I think what it was on HBO Max is where I think I watched it. But it's out there. It's worth watching. Get some popcorn. Go watch dinosaurs try to scare people and eat people and all that. And enjoy. But so there's another monster movie for us right there.
Oh, lots of monsters.
Yeah.
Is Liam Neal in this one?
No,
Oh, okay. Maybe that's the new one that they're talking
this is
about.
the newest one. So,
Okay.
all
Well,
right,
to break the monster movie theme we got going on here,
all right, all right.
it's the funniest movie of 2025. When I first heard they're doing a reboot, I was such a big fan of the original that I was nervous. Like, really, Leslie Nielsen? They're doing this, but I mean, they did an amazing job with it. That is The Naked Gun.
Yeah, I still need to see this movie. I'm anxious to get it watched. There's a lot going on when it came out, and I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. I think it's on streaming now. I need to go check for it and watch this and I think my son, who's 15, will just die laughing at this. That's what he
Yeah,
did at Airplane, so I think he'll do this with Naked Gun.
that was so much fun. I saw it in the theaters with pretty much my mom, my sister, brother, all my family. To hear everybody laughing that hard is just, oh, it's great. And
That's
they
awesome.
executed very well. Produced by Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy, and then one of the Lonely Island writers too. So
Yep.
great movie. You got to go see it.
I will definitely check it out. Hopefully before the end of the year. So because I've got a few days off here, maybe I can get that fan where that's streaming and watch some Naked Gun. So I'm with you. Yeah, that's one I've been meaning to watch and just haven't got it done yet. So
Okay, do you have a monster next
uh,
one?
I don't have a monster on the next one. I actually have superheroes.
Oh
So
yeah.
we're gonna go with the Fantastic Four. Um, First Steps. Did you check this movie out, Joe? Did you see this one in
No,
theaters? No.
I
Okay.
wanted to. I haven't had a chance. Yeah, I
I
wanted to.
I don't know if it's on Disney Plus yet. I think that's probably where it's heading since it's a Marvel movie. Um, we've had different runs of Fantastic Four prior, and Fox was doing that on their own outside of Disney because they own the rights to the characters. Then Marvel had bought Fox, and now they've got these characters, and we still haven't seen them, even though they've owned them for quite a while. Their first attempt to bring these characters around, and they're on a different universe than the universe with Spider-Man and Iron Man and all those guys. So it's a different world. It's Earth. It's just a different dimension of Earth, right? So this world is set into a futuristic '60s. So what people call retrofuturism, and so you got flying cars, but you also have everything else kind of sit in that whole 50s and 60s look and the static on things. You just have this crazy technology that's available. And the Fantastic Four has been around for a while. They have fought several different fights, saved the world many times, considered to be great heroes. They show interview shows with them and everything else. So these heroes have been around and established for a while. And then Galactus comes calling with the Silver Surfer, and the Fantastic Four try to figure out a way to stop this cosmic being from eating their world.
Yeah, he's a scary dude. And
He
Silver
is.
Surfer is his messenger, right?
Silver Surfer is the messenger. Different than the original movie, they actually show a comic book realistic view of Galactus. So you
Oh,
actually get to see him in this crazy costume, but it works so well for this movie. So I
cool.
just loved this movie. I thought it did things really well. And I've never been a big Fantastic Four in the comic books guy. I know a little bit and some of the characters and everything else because I read a lot of Marvel, but Fantasy 64 was not really my game most of the time. But this
Right.
took these basic characters, put them in a world that made sense for them with the 60s, with that, science focus and all this stuff. And it's just a lot of fun. They even bring in Herbie, who is a little flying robot from the 70s cartoon, in on
Okay.
this, and it's just great. He adds some humor to it. There's some great fun lines. There's some humor, but there's also a lot of intrigue and investigation and trying to do things beyond expectation. So I found this movie to be wonderfully well done. I loved it from the moment it started, and I'm enamored with it. I just think it was a one of the great hits of hits for me. It did well, but it didn't do as well as a lot of comic book movies did 5 years ago. But comic book movies aren't making the money they used to, which is okay. It's just where it's at. But it was a well done comic book movie. We know that this team is going to end up in the new Avengers Doomsday, but
Oh,
the
cool.
suspecting what's going to happen is you're going to pull in characters from different universes together in that Doomsday movie that'll be coming up next year.
Okay.
So it really sets us up for that with what's going on. But it's a fun movie. I suggest it full heartedly.
Okay, that's a good suggestion. You know, when comic book movies kind of first started, it was few and far between actors that would act in.
Yep.
But now, each comic book movie has pretty much had some of the biggest names in acting in it, and almost every major actor out there has been involved in it somehow.
You're exactly right. Yes.
Interesting. It's like a machine. You don't want to make the machine mad. Just
Well, there is a time and place for it. In most, I was an acting. I was a theater minor, and I love my actors because I feel like I am still part of that, even though I haven't done any real acting in a long time. So they want to do those artsy movies that they really feel like they can grow the depth of their characters. They also want to do those things that those movies that people just talk about and smile about and have fun with. This is their opportunity to do this. You get a chance to be in a superhero movie, and yes, we've had some flops in the last few years. But overall, man, that's a winner that's going to make a lot of money, probably going to make you a lot of money and get your face out there to where you're recognized. And that does help pay for your artsy movies you want to do.
oh
So,
yeah,
yeah. So, what do you
yeah.
got for us next? Speaking of superhero movies.
Yeah, speaking of superhero, I'm gonna go with Marvel also. This is from 2016, but I think I watch it every year now. I wasn't when this was advertised as coming out. I wasn't really that excited to see it. I didn't really know who Doctor Strange was. Didn't care for it. But when I watched it, I was like, this is an amazing movie.
It is.
Um, Doctor Strange has to deal with hubris. He has to be brought down from his high horse,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it's got a spiritual aspect to it, which I like, the philosophical aspect.
Yep. Yep. Sure does.
Just cool graphics, great story, and I loved it. Tilda Swinton, she's great.
Agreed. Yeah. A very great movie. Um, a lot of fun watching, watching a character come in with such pride and such
Yeah,
arrogance and then coming in and be humbled and then brought back up to the rightful place as a hero. So love that. Very, that's the thing that Iron Man and Doctor Strange share. Both have such hubris and so much going on that they just think that they know all the stuff, and then
Yeah.
these sort of movies actually show, well, we're all human.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Great.
that's a great pick. I love Doctor Strange. So awesome. Well,
Did you see? Is there two more or one more?
there's one more.
Did
Doctor
you see it?
Strange in the Multiverse. Yes, I did. It's a really fun movie. Have you seen it?
No,
Oh,
It's
you
worth
definitely
it.
should watch it. It's definitely worth it. They do talk about the Scarlet Witch in it, or they show the Scarlet Witch in it. So if you have kept up on the Scarlet Witch and all that's gone on there, but yeah, it's a good movie. I definitely suggest it. There's some funny parts, also very weird, but it's
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, and you're going into the
Right.
multiverse, so I expect weird from it. So yeah, I definitely suggest it. Definitely check it out, Joe.
Cool. Cool.
Well, I'm going to go my last one, also being a superhero movie, one that came out this last year. Um, in my mind, DC Comics has kind of fallen behind Marvel in their
Yep.
movies. And, they have some really good cartoons. They've got some other stuff that's really good with DC. Their comic book sales are higher than Marvel right now. But overall, their movies hasn't hit so well, and I know that they've rebooted their from the DC EU, being the Snyderverse and all of that, to the new universe, which takes James Gunn as the director, and he's kind of changing and putting out DC to a whole new slate. And the first one of that, of course, is Superman from last summer. I loved this movie. I have not seen a Superman portrayal that I thought was Superman for me. And Tom Cavill did a great job uh, playing the role that he was given. I just didn't think it was well written.
Yeah.
Or, but I thought that I ranked this one up with the first two Superman movies from the 70s and 80s. It's
Yeah.
so well done. It has so much heart, shows you who Superman really is, and that his humanity is actually his strength, not his powers. And I
Yep.
love that. And there's, have you seen this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
was great.
Yeah. So you got crypto in there, adding some entertainment and being a really fun wild card in there. You have all the different heroes. Lex Luthor in this movie made me question if he wasn't going to win. I knew it's Superman movie. Superman's got to win this. But Lex
Yeah.
Luthor, for the first time, even from the very first Superman movies, I never was afraid of Lex Luthor. I
Right.
never was afraid that Lex Luthor could win. In this movie, if I would have been an 8-year-old kid watching this, I would have been like, Superman's going to lose. Why am I
Yeah.
watching this? He's going to lose. What's going on? Because I really thought that Lex Luthor was so well done. And for a person that's just a human, had bested Superman and pretty much did until the end. So I loved this movie. I thought it was amazing. I loved the guest appearance of Supergirl at the end, spotlighting her new movie coming up next year, which I'm a huge Supergirl fan, and I love the storyline that they're going to do where she's trying to find herself. So it was not a perfect movie, but it was a great movie in my mind. I loved this movie. It took me back to the days of um, do you think, not do you think, something about you'll believe a man can fly. That's what it was from
Okay.
1978.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you'll believe a man can fly. And that's what it really took me back to, was that Christopher Reeve's feel that here is Superman doing the right thing because this is who he is. He's a
Right.
good person doing the right thing. Even the scene where he goes and rescues the squirrel, I thought that was absolutely hysterical. And I'm like, that's kind of who he is, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
So anyway, those are our list, our 5 each, guys. Thank you for watching. Let us know what we missed off our list. What should we have watched, or what do you think is a movie that should be on your top 5 for what you watched in 2025? So we'll be back. We're planning on being back next week. I don't know exactly what we'll do. Maybe we'll talk about movies we're looking forward to in 2026, because there's some good ones on the slate there. So that may be where we go. But until then, we hope you guys have a happy new year. Stay geeky and watch some movies.